Winslow, Arizona, such a fine sight to see.
Woohoo!
So I grew up on the Eagles. It's kind of hard to come through Winslow, Arizona and not stop and get a picture on the corner of Winslow, Arizona. The first ever album that I got was Hotel California by the Eagles. If you're not familiar with that song, look it up. It's a good one. Take It Easy by the Eagles.
Right. This way to experience the impact.
We're checking out Meteor Crater, not Natural Park. There it is. We're spreading out where the heck I'm at. Thanks, my dude.
Come on, this door is heavy.
Oh, looks cool. Looks like we're gonna have some sort of launch activity. Asteroids have many different Earth mutations.
This is cool. So from 1963 to 1970, the Apollo astronauts did a lot of their training inside of Meteor Crater just because of the similarity to what they would potentially be experiencing on the moon. They have self-guided tours. They also have a guided tour. It's half mile out and back. And then they have a video every half hour, an hour on the half hour, an hour. So we're gonna go do the guided tour, see how that goes around the rim. all RV parking down in the lower section, down there. And then regular cars over here.
Of course, all of our nickel and iron, or the meteorite consisting of so much iron in them, are attracted to, of course, our magnet. So if you guys could just go ahead and simply place them on the ground, put the ground in the dirt, and just follow them. And there you go. You guys are pretty much walking on sand particles of your meteor oxide. Like I mentioned, all of the meteorite, or when the meteorite came in, impacted here, didn't have enough, kinetic energy or kinetic force to do anything with their ground. So pretty much just outflew back everything, all the material that of course flew within 5 to 7 mile radius in every location, giving you guys at least from here a little past the local gas station that you guys came in on of standard vertical particles of your meteor. So basically you guys are walking on meteorite.
One of the things I found most fascinating was that it wasn't until the 1930s that anybody even knew what this hole was from. They thought maybe volcano because of the area that it was in, but it didn't have lava tubes or lava rock. So what they did know is there was a lot of nickel and iron. And so a gentleman by the name of Bellinger took his fortune from mining in Tucson area, purchased this land, and for the next 25 years proceeded to mine it until he bankrupted himself looking for ore that he could sell to the railroad in the 1870s. It never happened. So he left the property to his kids, and it was his kids who carried on the work, and because of that, over 200 other meteorite landing sites have been identified around the world.
What was that, Danny?
It was a mining thing.
I don't think it was used for mining. What was it used for, Colt?
Like to store food.
Yeah, to store food. Like their little pantry, their refrigerator of sorts.
This is the point in Starman where Jeff Bridges ran down towards the crater. It was all shot here. Well, a lot of it was shot here. The only way to be able to get up to this part of the crater is with the guided tour. So for that reason, it's definitely worth it to come out and do the guided tour, because you get to come on this whole side of the rim that is not accessible otherwise. However, one thing to keep in mind is that when the high winds really kick up, and it is windy today, but when the winds get too high, they do close down the guided portion of this tour. So if you're coming and you can pick your day, I wouldn't recommend coming on a high wind day, because all that's open is the observation deck. But it's pretty cool. It's definitely pretty cool what it is we got out here. Something else to keep in mind if you are going to come to Meteor Crater, it's not pet friendly. If you have a service animal, you can bring that. Otherwise, pets can't come. They do have a spot over there that you can leave your pet, but they cannot come in. Sorry.
We just got done with the Meteor Crater. Don't put in Meteor Lake because that's a completely different place in Arizona. First thoughts. We didn't know, again, we just kind of do what people suggest. I don't know. So I had no idea what this was. I thought we were just gonna kind of drive up, see it, be done. Nope.
The initial suggestion that we got made it sound like you're just going to drive up and you're going to see just this massive hole in the ground, and that's kind of it. So I figured there would be maybe admission per car, or something like $15 to come see a hole in the ground and then go on. I was like, that'd be kind of cool. Not at all what Meteor Crater is actually.
So we got there and it was $18 an adult, and we can't remember if it was 6 or 8 for kids between the ages of like 6 and 12 or something. So at first we were a little shocked, not sure, but we were there, and I am very glad we paid it.
Yeah, because at first I was like, again, we were there, so I was like, well, we might as well. But they really do a good job of putting enough value to where you feel like it was worth the admission cost.
So there's two options. There's a self-guided tour that takes you out to the observatory deck. There's two tours. Self-guided, one that takes you to the
There's two. Wow, neither one of us can speak. All right, take like 5. So you have a couple of options. Once you get in, you walk up and you get up to like the just outside of the museum portion of it. And you can either do a self-guided tour to the observation deck, or you can do, it's about a mile guided tour that is included with your admission.
I highly recommend the guided tour. The self-guided tour does not go out on the rim. It just goes to the observation deck. Then you get back and there's a movie you can either watch before or after. I thought it probably would have been fun to watch it before, but we got right up the stairs and they were already ready for the guided tour. So we just jumped right in and had a good time. And then there's also the museum with some exhibits and some things to learn.
Now the guided tour, I did notice their last guided tour is at 2:10, but the museum is open later. So keep that in mind.
Where'd the meteor come from?
Space.
The meteor came from space. And what did it do?
Made a hole.
It made a hole. Good job.
That it was the first one discovered.
That was the first impact crater discovered, huh? So lots of history, lots of science. Well worth the visit.
Our rating system.
Rating system.
Worth skipping, worth hitting if it's on your way, or worth planning your route around seeing. What do you think?
Nice thing is off the I-40. If you're doing that Arizona stretch, definitely stop. Or if you're within a good hour and a half drive, I definitely would drive. Like if you're in the Sedona area, Flagstaff area, any of those areas, I would go out of your way to see this.
I would agree. I would not plan an entire route around it, but like Tiff said, I would agree with that. If it's general vicinity to you being in the Sedona area, definitely come see this one.
All right, so I think that is a wrap on our fun-filled day. We got to stop in Winslow, Arizona. Tyler got to sing on the corner, so a little bit of Eagles, and we hit up the crater, the meteor crater.
Comment, like, subscribe, do your thing.